Sault Ste. Marie Police Service has responded to complaints of aggressive phone fraudsters. Members of the public have been receiving calls from scammers posing as Canada Revenue Agency workers who tried different methods to get personal information from victims. Potential victims have been told that their bank accounts have been targeted for fraud. In addition to that, scammers advise potential victims that the Sault Ste. Marie Police will be following up with them. The follow-up calls have been appearing on people's caller ID as the actual phone number for City Police. The person on the other end pretends to be an officer with City Police. The scammer, acting as a police officer, attempts to get personal information from the victim and advises the victim to cooperate. Additionally, the CRA and other government agencies will not ask for payment in the form of Visa gift cards, Google cards, or iTunes cards. Lake Superior State University welcomed Executive Director of the Michigan Marijuana Regulatory Agency, Andrew Brisboe, to campus for a seminar on marijuana regulation in Michigan. The MRA oversees the development of the burgeoning cannabis industry in Michigan. Students, faculty, administration, and members of the community attended the seminar to hear Brisboe speak. Brisboe's seminar focused on the mission of the MRA, which is to establish Michigan as the national model for a regulatory program, stimulating business growth while preserving safe consumer access to marijuana. As a progressive university in cannabis education, LSSU is looking at opportunities now to assist the MRA and continue to be a leader in cannabis study, preparing students to succeed in the developing marijuana industry. Toronto police say they've laid charges against an associate priest who works at a church in the northern part of the city. Investigators offered few details but alleged the man sexually exploited a 17-year-old girl. They say the 37-year-old suspect was arrested yesterday. Jordan Wellington has been charged with 1 count each of sexual exploitation and criminal harassment. Police say Wellington works at St. John's Anglican Church. The province's Treasury Board president said yesterday that Ontario will move more government services online, redesign the way it makes bulk purchases, and sell off office space and land as part of its efforts to rein in a multi-billion-dollar deficit. Peter Bethlenfalvy unveiled the SMART initiative, stressing that the province, with a projected $10.3 billion deficit this year, must build a system that is modern and fiscally sustainable. The government said its first goal will be to enhance the top 10 services offered by Service Ontario online to make them easier to use. No details on those enhancements were immediately available, though. Bethlenfalvy said currently only 30% of Service Ontario's business is completed online, and making the change will save people time and the government some money. The government will also redesign its procurement process to better leverage its bulk buying power, estimating the move could save $1 billion a year. Bethlenfalvy also said that the government is looking at its existing land holdings and office space to see if it can reduce its footprint in some buildings or sell some others. That plan could also extend to properties owned by hospitals, school boards, and post-secondary institutions, he added. The province will also consolidate transfer payments to social service agencies to simplify the funding system.
New Mexico, which I think we're going to win. You know why we're going to win New Mexico? Because they want safety on their border. And they didn't have it. And we're building a wall on the border of New Mexico. And we're building a wall in Colorado.
President Trump in Pittsburgh yesterday described the construction of a border wall and said, "We're building a wall in Colorado," which is not a border state. Trump later said on Twitter that he was describing the border wall's benefits jokingly.
And we're building a wall in Colorado. We're building a beautiful wall, a big one that really works, that you can't get over, you can't get under. And we're building a wall in Texas. And we're not building a wall in Kansas, but they get the benefit of the walls that we just mentioned.